Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me, again, is Ben.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. What's up?
We are back for real now that we're doing second week in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
It's not just a fluke now.
and this is kind of like the real first episode back because it's a fucking magic cast. So you know it's legit.
Uh-huh. It's true. That's what our first episode was.
Highly planned though. Like we definitely planned this. It's been like 2 months in the making. We had it pegged for.
If you look at the schedule we planned from before you left, it was planned for this to be a magic cast.
Oh shit.
All along.
That's what I was referring to. It wasn't a joke at all.
Just because I knew it had been so long, so much happened while you were gone. There was so much magic stuff to talk about that
and I
we could talk about any of it.
Yeah. I mean, my big thing diving right in, and maybe there's probably nothing like super definitive yet for some of this, but give me the white weenie status. What's up? Is there any changes? M20 came out. Has anything popped off? I mean real white weenie, not Hank's white weenie where it's like it's mono white and then it's red, black, blue, and white on the side. No. I feel like there's probably some stuff because there was some more Convoke nonsense, wasn't there? I'm just, I'm gonna have I'm opening the Arena client just to have card references.
Okay, I don't think there's no Convoke nonsense. You're crazy.
No. There was definitely a Convoke thing. It might not be relevant, but there was definitely a thing.
Sure you're not thinking of Modern Horizons? Sure you're not thinking of Hogak?
What's Hogak?
From Modern Horizons, the thing that has Delve and Convoke.
You know what?
That
sounds...
Use mana.
No, I wasn't thinking of that. That's...
Okay.
I certainly wasn't. That would be ridiculous. Me not...
I'm just saying that's the Convoke card I can think of that was printed recently.
Well... They should have put it in Arena. Yeah, that
kind of isn't anything. Hasn't been any new tech for mono white.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Mono blue and mono red still going strong, but people are kind of off mono white for.
I mean, until I bring it back.
And
are flyers a thing? It looks like we got flying tech. Yeah,
flyers are a thing. Azorius flyers, baby.
Dude, I was on that train when it was still garbage. It was pretty fun.
You could do the version that's like Spirit Tribal also.
Right.
Or you cannot.
Does it use do I even have my decks here? I don't even have it in my deck list. The thing that whenever you cast whatever spell it creates flyers. I think it's like sorcery or instance, it creates a flyer or it creates a void.
You mean Murmuring Mystic?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I mean, that makes
sense.
Too much mana. Yeah. But, like, at the time, if you wanted to go more tribal-y things, like, it was fine. The deck was okay. But, yeah, I saw all the flying shit, and I'm like, man, this seems like it's actually feasible. So I might crack that again, honestly, because the deck was it's cute. I like tribal stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The big point against going the Spirit Tribal route is you need to get 4 of a rare from M19.
Ooh. Yeah.
And it's really not clear to me that I think that version of the deck might not even be as good, so.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get
it's a pretty big argument.
Empyrean Eagle is the keylord. You play that and like favorable winds.
Okay.
And the new rare that's key to it in either version of the deck is Hanged Executioner.
What does that do?
So it's a 1/1 flying spirit for 3 mana. But when it enters the battlefield, you get a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying, so it's 2 1/1s.
Oh.
And also, you can tap 4 and exile it to exile target creature. A bit of removal utility too.
Yeah, I just stumbled across it. Yeah, that's a spicy little bud.
The other huge card is, so they're like, it's hilarious. They made 2 more flying 1-drop blue creature flyers.
Oh, sure, yeah.
2 more of them. So the better one is Spectral Sailor, which is a spirit pirate.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
not only does it have flash, but also you can tap 4 mana to draw a card.
Okay.
So it's such a good late game draw.
This is the other one I was seeing that I like. Not for White Weenie, but for like flying stuff. Does Sephara Sky's Blade come into play?
In some versions,
Okay.
but some versions don't.
I would
She's
probably
not-
try it if I.
That's fair. You have to kind of make sure you're casting creatures, because honestly, that's a lot of creatures to have on the board. I honestly don't love it because I feel like there's so much removal going around.
Yeah, I suppose. Man, yeah, you weren't kidding. There's like nothing spicy for White Weenie.
Yeah, no.
Like they don't give a
It's
shit.
Nope. If you want to be aggro, it's not aggro weenie. It's not White Weenie right now. You can go vampires, although that requires getting a lot of Ixalan cards.
Yeah.
It's like Ixalan block plus 2 other cards. It's just New Sorin is so good. And then there's like the Boros Feather and Angel decks.
Sure, yeah.
Which have their own flavors.
Oh, this is the other thing. Has anything happened in the way of artifacts yet? Because that's one of the other kind of janky, sort of worked, sort of didn't things that I had going on.
To my utter disappointment, no. The artifact decks just aren't good enough.
Yeah. Which
There aren't enough
makes
impactful artifacts that are worth anything. Like your filler is just so bad.
Yeah.
It makes me sad, because that's definitely the first deck I spent all my wild cards on. And it's just not good. I tried a lot of different flavors.
Yeah. I mean, pirate thing is still fun. That's still if only rotation. Wait, yeah, Ixalan is rotating out, right?
Yeah, so all the treasure is going away.
Fuck. That's the worst insult. They should just rotate. I'll play historic treasure. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah. So the real big hotness is the new team, like the elemental stuff.
Yeah. The elemental I knew was like. I knew that was a thing.
And I like it so much that I like rebuilt my Neo Niv deck around elementals.
Yeah, you really fucked me on that one. I was getting close. Then this guy.
I mean, I didn't fuck you.
No, you definitely did
It's
it.
still
You could have just left it
the
the
old
same.
version.
Why would I play the worst
just-
version of it?
I'd say M20 fucked you because it came out with new cards. That were
Well, how
good.
dare they should have just done reprints.
I mean, the best card is
Like-
an uncommon. It's not like it's a rare.
Yeah, I think I already got 4 of it also. Like I just made it.
Yeah. And then you play and then I can play the Is It 2-drop elemental, the 2/2 firing haste, which is also not.
Wait, was it? It was Modern Horizons that had slivers, right? Not M20.
Yes,
Damn.
not M20.
I mean, that makes sense, but like, they released close enough to each other, and I've been out of the game for long enough that I get confused.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. They did release like directly on top of each other. Like spoiler season just didn't end.
Yeah. Man, yeah, there's like all these artifacts are just like there's some things, but there's like not enough.
Your 4-mana slot is just incredibly crowded, and if you're spending less than that, there's like nothing that is impactful.
Yeah, that's the
There's
thing.
like there's like utility stuff, but there's nothing that's like this card comes out and changes the game or has a really strong active effect.
I mean, yeah. Like, I'm trying to think what my go-to, because
the problem is you just lose before you can get to your really strong end game.
Mm-hmm.
Just like every deck can be faster than you.
Yeah. I mean, there were like, I don't know. It was okay. But it's, yeah. It has gotten, like, every time they put new shit into the pool, it's gotten worse. Basically.
Yeah. The problem is there are just, like, a lot of good decks out there.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs are back, too.
Dinosaurs are back. You know what? That one surprised me a bit. I didn't think I'd be seeing dinos again.
Dinos, baby. I mean, one of the most played cards is a new dinosaur.
I forget
Fucking
which
shifting Ceratops.
Yeah.
Tyrant.
Ugh. What's his hang on, I know I have one of him.
Can't be countered and he has protection from blue.
At least he doesn't, you know what? No hexproof, no problem.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
It's just fair enough.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm totally
you can tap
fine with that.
one green mana to give him reach, trample, or haste until end of turn.
Yeah, because there's one of him in your
4 mana.
There's one of him in your mid deck, right?
I put it in just because it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm up against a blue deck, like, yeah, I want to neoform a 3-drop into a shifting Ceratops. Hell yeah.
That sounds like a plan. You'll need to, I mean, you don't need to do it now necessarily, but I'm gonna need some bird lists. I think that's probably gonna be I feel like that one doesn't take too much rares and whatnot, maybe, hopefully.
I mean, depends how you're building it. It can.
I just want lots of Boyds. Does it play Healing Hawk?
Yeah.
All right.
Obviously.
I mean, I don't know, dude. And to be truthful, it doesn't matter if it is or isn't. I was gonna do it.
I haven't seen a list playing Trusty Rusty.
Oh, I mean, probably gets slotted in.
Yeah.
Just for jokes.
There's Loyal Pegasus is kind of eating its spot because it's a 2/1 flyer for 1 mana. It just can't attack or block alone.
Yeah. How is your stuff for the mastery thing? Have the changes convinced you to buy in, or are you still holding out for now and you're gonna see how you feel?
I'm gonna see how far I'm getting.
That is fair.
I'm definitely on the wait plan.
When does it end?
At rotation or at when the next set comes out. So it's a while.
Okay. I was gonna be like, let me reiterate. When does it end though? Like, I don't know what. Okay.
It basically runs for 3 months.
Yeah, you'd think I'd have an idea of like the timeline by now, but no.
Mm-hmm.
What is okay?
I'm at level 19 currently.
I am at
But
level
and I have
5.
and I have 3 daily quests to do in my queue.
What the hell
Let's build
is
up to 3.
giant monsters? Whenever you cast a creature's spell with converted mana cost of 4 or greater, draw a card. Narset, Parter Veils, and Nexus of Fate are banned. I mean, that seems cool. Seems like a thing I like.
What?
I like the giant monsters format. The little thing.
I see. This.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds cool. I just
No skin rewards or anything.
no. Get out of here. No cosmetics. And no
thanks.
play. Yeah, no thanks. That's definitely the better thing to follow with.
Well, and they're gonna be doing events that are give mastery XP
Right,
at some
right.
point. So
Yeah.
this is like super filler.
I will probably do like a little, maybe a sealed core set or a ranked draft or something. Just because or I just spend money on packs, but that's also expensive. I don't know. Because I do, like, I
Yep.
did want to pre-order, but it just didn't line up.
Uh-huh. That's fair.
Moving is expensive. Who knew?
God.
I guess to deviate from Arena for a bit, did you see that there's potential leaks for the 2019 Commander stuff?
No, I haven't seen that.
So supposedly they are themed, but not like tribal sort of themes. Like supposedly the Commander series returns with 4 brand new ready-to-play decks for Magic. Blah blah blah. Each deck has a returning keyword ability as its main theme, which are populate, flashback, morph, and madness.
Huh.
So I don't know. It's not just hearing it. It's not as sexy, but it could be fun.
Yeah. None of those keywords are necessarily something that's like, oh man,
Yeah.
flashback is dope. I really like playing with flashback, but
I mean, they should have made one of the. They could. I don't know. Make one of the keywords like what is it? Ninjutsu.
I mean, people do like ninjutsu.
It's pretty dope. It's fun.
That's why people like those new ninjas in Modern Horizons.
And just make them like keyword abilities, but make them like more. Like if it's ninjutsu, right? It's ninjas.
Now,
like, clearly.
if one of those keywords had been affinity,
Oh,
so they got affinity, infect.
yeah, I was gonna say in fact, affinity. Let's see.
Energy.
Oh, get out of here! Gross. That's disgusting.
I don't even love energy. I'm just trying to come up with the grossest ones.
Yeah, affinity.
And delve.
Delve.
There,
Yeah.
there are your 4 decks.
Jesus. Prices out of like immediately day 1 are like double what they should be. Ugh. We
You could
tried.
reprint Treasure Cruise all day. That card isn't worth anything.
We tried to tone down the power of some of these keywords, and actually we fucked up and made them all more strong. Probably what would have happened. Man, throw a
They
keyword in
printed
there.
a card with Convoke and Delve.
Put
Broke Modern.
yeah, that's pretty great. I did see that one and it made me happy. Convoke and Delve. What could go wrong?
You can't even play mana for it. You can't even pay mana for it.
Oh, but Skull Clamp gives them what is it? Minus or +1 -1? It's a -1.
Yeah,
The downside.
that's fair.
I mean, maybe one of the keywords that they build around should be enchantment affinity. would it just be affinity, but it says affinity for
No.
enchantments?
Affinity for enchantments.
Okay. So they should have done that.
I think. Yeah. Whatever. Probably going back to Theros and Standard.
I
Anyway.
mean, considering like half of the fucking cards in M20 use Theros art or like art close to it, it feels like it. They brought Yoked Ox back. I feel like we're going there.
Mm-hmm. It seems to be what people think, and people are into it.
I mean, I'm into it. I still need to I still need to like not rebuild, but kind of like rework some of my EDH decks, namely the enchantment one with like some of the new stuff that's actually worth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't thought about I haven't worked on any of them.
Yeah. It's also just like, I don't know, maybe I don't know if you get this, but for me, like it feels like it's more work to do it digitally. Like if I have it in person, I'm like, okay, I have this deck. I should look into stuff that I could maybe put in there eventually. But digital, I'm like, oh, I have every single card at my fingertips. That's too much, so I don't want to have to look. Kind of how I get with
For
it.
me, it's like I have like over 50 decks or whatever of EDH decks in a list, so I'm not gonna
Well, yeah,
go around updating all of them.
if you're disgusting.
And it's like I could update that if I wanted to play it, or I would just I'll build a new deck or whatever. It's like mostly how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's also because it's like the hardest part is like the last couple cuts in any deck. So trying to slot in like one more card
Yeah.
is like, it's just like cutting off a toe. I just don't want it. But this deck is already where I like it.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're like, oh, I'm going to put in all these new cards, it's like, that's an easy way to make your deck worse also. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
unless you're like really changing something,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I don't think there's anything like
I don't know if we had a plan to play, then I would figure out the changes I wanted to make to the decks I was going to play is basically where I am right now.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope so. Everybody rolls up to the table with outdated decks. That's disgusting.
I mean, I think one of my decks has Paradox Engine in it. The list that's on the Google Drive.
Whatever. Paradox Engine doesn't even bother me.
Well,
At
what's
least
funny
not for
is
our
that
play group.
Paradox Engine I took out of the deck version of that deck I built in real life because it was too slow.
Yeah.
I decided Paradox Engine wasn't good enough for that deck.
Which, like,
So
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's 5 mana. That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I was going to say,
powerful.
like, oh, yeah. I was going to say that, like, in slivers, it's fine, but
No,
it's still,
it's not true at all. Why are you lying to me, Ben?
I mean, it's fine. It's a win more,
It's another way to get infinite mana.
it's not even a win more card, it's a win now card, really. Like, there's a few different combinations of 3 slivers that you need to have out, and if you have them, you just win. So,
Yeah, I mean, Slivers,
like,
because Paradox Engine is good as combo decks, and Slivers is a combo deck.
mm-hmm.
Unless you really build it to not be, and that's then I don't
More
really know
fun.
It's necessary.
I mean, it overwhelms.
Except for the part where people still think you're playing Slivers. If people know,
Yeah.
that's the problem. People shouldn't give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. Honestly.
It shouldn't, but like,
unless they know and you're
yeah,
friends.
like for our play group, like if I say I'm
Yeah.
playing like Stompy Slivers, like I'm playing Stomp, which is what I kind of want to retool the deck to. Like, actually, that's a half lie. I want to play Cascade Slivers because it
Yeah,
seems
that's
really
still a
fun.
combo deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would probably. I feel like what would happen is I'd be like, man, this is fun, and I'd half-ass it, so it's not. It doesn't function as it should if it was trying to be a combo deck, and knowingly, the deck would just be worse. Like, you're not doing a combo, but you're also using the thing that wants to be a combo, and I don't care. Because the hot
And then
new Sliver Lord.
The problem is that I would threat assess you. And make
But
you
know!
But threat assessment on board
Don't
possibilities.
even
Man.
onboard
You can't-
possibility. I'll give you the deck list.
But you just said it was in the deck. It's possible.
What do you mean?
As long
What's
as
in the
it's
deck?
possible. You just said. You said you it wasn't that you wouldn't have the combo potentially in there. You just said you'd make it worse.
Oh, I just meant for like the because that Lord like is the combo boy, right? But it's I wouldn't have anything in there to like play with that really more than shit does naturally anyway.
I mean, the problem is shit does naturally. Like, as soon as you have the slivers that produce mana, you're kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever. Slivers are always dangerous. That's their shtick.
Yeah.
If only
I
they.
really like slivers.
Slivers are fantastic. Slivers are my first love. I love them slightly less when I realized that, what was it, Venom Sliver? Didn't give them infect, it gave them poison, whatever.
Poisonous? Yeah. Poisonous. Pre-infect.
Way less fun. Way harder.
It's not nearly as good. It's not nearly as good.
No, it is not.
I mean, it just means you need, like, actually 10 slivers instead of...
10 slivers? Ugh. That's impossible.
when you're making
when have you ever had 10
slivers? That's fine.
But that's not. But then people mess with you. They think you're gonna do stuff.
I mean, that's why the most important sliver is crystalline sliver. That's
Yeah.
the sliver.
Yeah, as it turns out.
I mean, that's always been my favorite one since I learned how good it was.
I really. Is it Synapse Sliver? The one where you flip a coin?
I mean, that one's pretty good. That one's a lot of fun.
I love that. I love Synapse Sliver. It's actually like. I just
It's
remember
like fun crystalline sliver.
like the first iteration of my Sliver deck. I looked at it and I was like, "This is dumb." And then when I was going back through stuff, I like looked at it again when I wasn't stupid, and I was like, "Wait a minute." This seems like it's okay. Turns out it's pretty good. Who knew?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think the big problem with slivers is Sliver Overlord is too good.
Silver Overlord?
Yeah, well, it just makes the deck play like the same.
Yep, that's why I stopped using him as my commander. Because it's boring as fuck. Oh, I'm gonna fetch Crystalline. I'm gonna fetch this. Like, I think
that's like
even
the easy way for commander decks to get boring.
even like Sliver Queen is kind of like infinite.
Problem with Sliver Queen is like the thing that it's like it's so easy to break.
Yeah, and even then, like, it's still kind of the same general goal. Like, how can I get infinite slivers? So when I retool that deck, like, I'm not even gonna really take that into account. Like, Hive Mind is like, it's a nice static ability. It just gives them indestructible. Like, yeah, that's kind of threatening, but it's not combo or infinite shit threatening. And That allows me to play the deck how I want, which is, what sliver am I going to get next, and how are all my slivers going to win? Are they going to fly? Are they going to shift? We'll find out. Like, that's just what I want to do.
I like Sliver Legion.
Sliver Legion is, like, also the really fun one for me, just because it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's just a very basic... They're big. They're big boys.
Yeah. Problem is, the ones that I own are Sliver Queen and Sliver Overlord.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, in like practice, I don't know if I'd actually put Cascade Boy as my commander. Maybe. I'd certainly try it. I'd have them in the I'd have all the lords in the deck just cuz like you gotta. The gang has to stick together. Actually, we can quote me on that at any point. Like, if you're not playing all of the Sliver Lords in your deck, like the big 5/5 drop ones, you're a coward and you don't deserve to play Slivers. Oh, but it's not optimal for my strat. Fuck off. They deserve to be together. And the dream is swinging out with all 5 of them at once. That's how real people play Slivers. If anything, you should have a combo deck to get all 5 of those boys out at once and just decimate with them. That should be the goal.
I don't know. Are you sure the goal isn't to kill people with Sliver Legion commander damage?
Nah. I mean, the goal is definitely poisonous. Non-bullshit infinite slivers poisonous. Like, just straight, good old-fashioned face-to-face nonsense.
Like some old-fashioned poison snakes.
Yeah. One bite at a time.
Yeah, man.
Also, is there like... I thought that I saw something with like angels. Are angels like a thing more so? In some way?
In Arena, or what are you talking about?
In Arena, but yeah. I guess like, I mean, they're always a thing in EDH, yeah. But like, I thought there was some spicy stuff that had dropped.
I mean, Boros Angels has been a deck.
It's
been a fringe deck for a while.
Okay. Is that still using Feather?
Yeah, I think the latest version is also using feathers.
That makes sense.
Boros Angels. What's new here? There's Bishop of Wings is like a big new card.
Okay.
It's like a 1/4 for 2 mana. Whenever an angel enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life, and whenever an angel under your control dies, you get a 1/1 spirit with flying.
Right. Yeah, I just saw that one.
That's the big like angel synergy card. And then like, Lyra and Aurelia and Resplendent Angel are just all really good cards.
Yeah, as it turns out.
They're all just very mana efficient and strong.
People, for your Neo Niv deck, people like to incorrectly assess Aurelia as the greatest threat when it's not sometimes. There was a prime speaker out and you took out the Aurelia, like, maybe you messed up.
I love playing weird decks that people just constantly misplay against because they don't know. They don't.
Yeah, it's like and for that, like, after a certain point, it's like you have the Niv, you have the Aurelia, you have whatever. Like, where the fuck do I start?
It's true. But my favorite version of that is the Collision Colossus in mono red.
Yeah.
People just
so
do not
good.
play around it at all.
Because who
right
would?
Into it every time.
Yeah, man. Is I mean, that's like a perfect segue. Like, where is mono red these days? Is it just the same old?
Uh, they're like, it's mostly the same kind of
Hmm.
idea. Chandra Spitfire has been getting into decks
I mean, because
along
I
with
still have your big
Ember Hauler.
Colossus, the deck you had used for mono red.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there anything? Have you looked at that at all for like updates or nah?
I was playing. I ended up just playing straight mono red for a bit, just to try it out,
Mm-hmm.
because I finally got some runaway steamkins. But
Gotcha.
when like the point of that deck that I was doing was like, I want to try and like outrace other red decks that are dinking around with runaway steamkin
Yeah.
boosts and just like crush people. I don't know. Mono red's still really good, but it hasn't. The basic
It's
idea
like
is still
still,
the same.
yeah.
Like light up the stage is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like card draw plus that hard aggression is just really powerful. I don't know. Ember Hauler seems like a really good addition because you can deal damage to specific targets, creatures, or go face with it on its sack ability.
Wait, what's this?
Ember Hauler.
Oh,
It's a
there it
2/2
is.
goblin. You can pay 1 to sack it and deal 2 damage to a creature or player.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that seems decent.
Like it's the point I get. Like it has 2 power of toughness, as opposed to the the 2 mana wizard that does 2 damage immediately. Viashino Pyromancer. That's what I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
But that one can deal its damage to planeswalkers, so I feel like that's still kind of situational if you care more about killing planeswalkers or creatures
Yeah.
based on what people are playing.
Yeah, there's some like
Oh, actually, the super good card is if you're playing sideboard games, Fry.
I was gonna say
That is
Fry looks
actually
pretty good.
crazy. Yeah, that one's actually insane. All the color hoser cards are nuts as sideboard stuff. Like they're just really good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some
There's the 2/2 blue Drake it's like a 1/1 flyer pro red. That's so good against the red decks. And
mm.
also you can sacrifice it to counter a spell that targets you.
Oh.
So like if you're gonna die to face damage, you can just live.
Yeah.
Also late. That's pretty good. There's another spicy deck.
Oh, hit me.
The Simic Flash.
Ooh boy.
It's built around Nightpack Ambusher.
I
It's a wolf. Get all those wolves. Wolf
Oh,
boy.
is that the yeah, okay.
It, yeah, it's 4/4 with Flash. It
Mm-hmm.
has a Lord ability for wolves and werewolves. Where all their wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of your end step, if you didn't play a spell this turn, you get a 2/2 wolf.
Oh.
So you just never cast anything on your turn, and you just get a 2/2 wolf every turn.
Yeah. So you're just playing yeah, okay. So it must just be like, yeah, literally flash encounters.
Yeah, so you're playing Trickster, you're playing Frilled Mystic, you're playing. There's a new card, Brineborn Cutthroat,
Okay.
which is like which is another synergy card with the deck because that's 2/1 flash, and whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, it gets a +1/+1 counter.
Gotcha.
So that's all pretty good. I've lost to that deck a bunch because I haven't built it yet. I haven't had the real world cards to build it. But the night pack, I'm like literally just missing the pack ambushers.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah,
haven't had the
so
real
many.
cards yet.
I have so many common and uncommon wild cards and just zero mythic
Yes,
rare.
I
God.
am at the point where I'm drowning in them.
Yeah.
I have 88 common wild cards and 63 uncommon wild cards, and 0 and 0 of rare and mythic.
Yep. I'm at 53 and 32. And like, I'll probably
Back
be.
when I was spending all my gold on drafts, I was
Mhm.
like, I did not have enough common and uncommon. But if you start just spend gold on packs, you just end up with a ton.
Yeah. I still think PAX is like for me, I think for what I want, it's still the better thing just because those wild cards.
Oh, it's so good. Like the reason to not do it is just if you just rare draft and you get some specific cards out of the pool, and then you're more likely to get things that aren't those because of the duplicate protection later.
Yeah.
So if you're just rare drafting, it can be worth it to do that up front. But it's not. That's like the ideal min max kind of thing. I don't have the patience.
Nope.
Did not have the patience.
And also, I'm bad at draft. There's so many. It really bugs
You're just
me.
rare drafting. It doesn't even matter. It's not even about.
Oh, it's
skill.
not even
It's
about
taking the rares.
I guess.
in
I've
this
just
case.
seen so many things where people try to talk about like, oh, what's the most efficient, and they're like, well, what you want to do
Win
is,
all your drafts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you really want to do is draft and then win like at least 80%. I'm like, great. So yeah, it's
mean-
with a small loan of $1 million.
I mean, if you want to do the most efficient thing, you just go infinite on draft.
Mm-hmm.
Done. It's not helpful advice, but it is true.
Or you just become a super whale.
I mean, that's not efficient. That's the opposite of efficient. It is a way to get all the stuff, though.
I mean, it's time.
Honestly, yeah.
Time is money. I'm poor.
Time is money, friend. I don't know. You get a lot of cards from doing your daily quests.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, it's if you keep up with it. I'm tempted
I
to.
have put a lot of money into this game at this point. To Arena.
Yeah, yeah, like.
But also, I play it a lot. So.
Yeah, and I even without playing it a ton, which it comes and goes in waves, and like I was starting to get into it, and then all the moving stuff, but like I look at the price of paper magic, I'm like, oh, this is fine. Like I'm playing these
Really?
decks, and it's like, oh, okay, well this would be like $400 in paper.
Yeah. I don't know. If I were playing in paper, I would be playing mono red and mono blue only.
Oh, absolutely.
And mono white. I would have played mono white. I would have played those 3 decks because they're cheap as shit.
I still, for just looking at Hydroid Crassus when it was like $38 per, and I'm like, ugh, I want 4 of those in all my Simic decks because they're fun.
Like, I mean, like, honestly, if Arena didn't exist, I would be playing mono red on MTGO. Because that deck is dirt cheap on there.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
like when I've played standard on MTGO is when there's a red deck that's dirt cheap that's good.
Yeah. Well, and like, I don't know. I still remember when we did our little popper thing, and I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see if it was like as stupidly easy as it seemed like it was, and I did the mono red, and it is. It's still just because half of it or more is commons anyway.
Yeah. Most of the key cards.
Yeah.
You do give up light of the stage, but
Yeah. I mean, meh.
also you're not playing against nearly as strong decks, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I meant to look up what Pauper decks are doing on MTGO now. Because not only did they release all the new cards, but they announced that they made Pauper like an official format. So now Pauper's legality list isn't just commons on MTGO; it's all
Right.
commons.
Yeah.
Like they've paper Magic too.
How does that How does that go for like shifted rarities?
I mean, if it was ever printed as a common, it's
Okay.
legal
All right.
in a black border set.
Right. Yeah.
For me, it was nice because I don't have, like, on MTGO, only Hydroblast and Pyroblast were legal, but Red Elemental Blast and Blue Elemental Blast were commons in paper, but not on MTGO.
Yeah.
And in paper, I have a mix of those cards, so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I built my Pauper decks, I didn't realize that most things that played Pauper went by the MTGO ban list and didn't take into account. Like, honestly, I just didn't realize that was a thing. I just assumed they had merged them already, but not until
Yeah. Well, I mean,
just recently.
you and probably like what, 75% of people coming in. How many people do you think had to be told like, oh, sorry, no, we use the Magic Online list?
Uh-huh.
And then
I don't know.
God, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I could see me getting angry. I'm holding the card in my hand. It's right here. It's fucking common, bud.
Like the other thing was the other big thing is like on MTGO you'd have to use Relic of Progenitus instead of Tormod's Crypt.
Oh yeah.
And Tormod's Crypt is a much cheaper card than Relic of Progenitus.
Yeah.
Those were like the two, and it was like for sideboard stuff. I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I still remember like wanting to do Pauper, and then it turns out it's like I thought it was a more like fun, casualish thing, and then you just fucked me up with elves, and I dropped it. Desire killed.
Yeah. It's funny.
Like,
Elves isn't even the best deck in the format. It's just like up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, isn't it still like artifacts or something? It's still like bullshit.
I think it's Tron now is the biggest.
Sure. So bullshit.
But it was Delver. It was Delver, but they just banned a bunch of the broken blue cards. Like they were playing Gush and
right.
Taxied Probe.
Yeah, the stuff that's like banned in other things.
Something banned in every other format, and in Pauper, it's like, yep, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Ugh.
Restricted in Vintage.
Yeah.
Pauper, you can play 4 of them.
Which, like, on one hand, kind of cool.
On one hand, it was great. It was the format where you could play those cards.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like the blue-red Delver decks had dominated the format for a long time. Although there were other good decks, it's just Pauper wasn't played enough at a high enough level for people to bother learning it. Mostly people were just like, it's weird. There was this weird thing where there was this weird like black-green tortured existence deck that like nobody was playing but kept doing good Pauper tournaments. But like nobody was picking up the deck for whatever reason. I think because it was weird and complicated, but
that sounds right. I feel like
if the scene had been more serious, more people would have been playing that deck. It kind of reminded me of like how long. It just made me think of like how long it took people to catch up to KCI being good in Modern.
Oh yeah.
Where like Matt Nass won like 2 GPs or something with it. He was just like before literally anybody else bothered to learn it.
Wasn't that another one where it's like complex as hell?
That one's like does weird interactions with holding priority on the rules.
Because I remember
if you don't know it, like it's just super easy to play that deck incredibly slowly.
Yeah, I remember seeing when like people were talking about like parts of it getting banned and stuff. Did like the card itself get banned? I forget.
Yes, Clark Clan Ironworks got banned.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I remember seeing people like it's because I don't know, 99% of Magic players are like, fuck it, this one, I'm gonna play it. And then they play it, and they're bad at it. And then
Yeah.
everybody
And
just
it was
has to
like,
deal with it.
it's like how they had to ban Top because it was just making tournaments unbearable, and
Yeah.
like games were going to time too often because people were too fucking slow.
Yeah.
Man,
Ugh.
it is hilarious though that you can play Tron in Pauper.
Wasn't there like some sort
Literally,
of...
the Tron lands are legal.
Yeah. Ugh. Fucking Tron. Wasn't there some sort of weird standard version of it recently?
Oh, standard Tron? That's
What
just
did-
playing
I know it's not
so
Tron,
the reasons that
Tron, but...
because you're playing the new Nissa, or your lands are all
Right.
tapping for extra mana, and you're then powering that into Karn and Ugin.
Right. Gotcha.
But it was new Karn and new Ugin. That's why it was called Tron. I mean, there was also the Splitter Twin deck.
Which one was... I
was.
don't remember that one.
It's a fucking weird combo around a Dominaria legend.
Okay.
What was it called? Naru Meha, Master Wizard. Where whenever it enters the battlefield, you copy an instant or sorcery spell.
Okay.
So I think you're copying Neoform or something. I forget.
Oh, yeah, bud. Neoform,
And you're
you
just like-
said?
I'm trying to. It wasn't the thing was the deck wasn't that good, but it was hilarious. It was mostly hilarious that they just called the deck Splitter Twin. Oh yeah, so the other or you would use Finale of Devastation, the green mythic that lets you search your deck for. I think that was actually the key one.
Gotcha.
And Finale of Devastation.
Okay.
And then you'd use like Tameo to recur and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You just create this. It'd let you create an infinite combo, and you would play like New Ral that whenever you cast a spell, he would deal 1 damage.
Right, yeah.
So loop.
I had that, I had that done to me. I mean,
it's fun.
not that exact thing, but New Ral is just...
Yeah.
Let's get on with it.
The hilarious thing is there's a combo deck now that people can't really even play on Arena because it's too fucking hard to not time yourself out
Oh, man.
to like physically do the loop. It's around Teshar. Another one from Dominaria. That's the 2/2 flyer. When you cast a historic spell, you return a creature card for mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Okay.
So you do it with by doing like Chamber Sentry for 0.
Okay,
And
that's...
and you create these infinite loops.
Yeah.
And there's something in
Jesus.
M20 that made it even better, but the loops take so long to actually win the game that on Arena, people
Yeah.
time out before they can do it.
Well, I mean, good. Like, fuck that.
I mean, in paper, it works much better because you just explain the loop and then you
Demonstrate
can just
it,
run
and then you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which... is there even, like... Did Magic Online have a way to...
No.
Gross.
Magic Online has the same problem
Mm-hmm.
of dexterity being a thing. It's really funny.
Yeah. Ah, well.
I don't know. One less combo deck to worry about.
Yeah, basically.
Seeing.
You know, I still... I hated it.
I mean, the worst thing is that fucking Nexus of Fate.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Nexus of Fate loops where you can't win.
Yeah. Which
That's the worst thing.
isn't it? People were still like complaining about it even up until semi recently, and everyone was like, just go to best of one then. You know what? Even in best of three, like when I was playing the Niv deck a lot, I didn't really see any Nexus decks.
No, Nexus decks have really been feast or famine. Like they've been really good, or they're just like not actually good enough, and people stop playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. Like it stopped being good enough, so people gave up on it. Like New Teferi is just such a, it just hoses that whole deck.
Hell yeah,
Like,
which
you're
is
just
perfect.
done.
The perfect irony.
I mean, that was like my favorite part of New Teferi was that when they printed that card, I just stopped seeing Nexus of Fate decks
Yeah.
for the most part.
God bless.
Like it didn't even matter if people were playing New Teferi or not at that point. And
Yeah.
like, and even that, and it had the same effect on counter magic in general. Like it was just, it disappeared so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because New Teferi was just like hosing these hard control decks as they had been being built before.
Yeah. Man, it's so good. I think I still need like, how many does your Niv deck call for? 3 or 2? 2 in the sideboard?
3. It used to be 1 in the main deck, 3 in the sideboard.
Yeah. Yeah, I still need 1.
I think I took the 1 out of the main deck because it no longer has been, like, people stopped playing counter magic as much, so
Yeah.
I don't need it.
I'm actually like,
And I started playing a Rhythm of the Wild instead, basically,
right.
instead of one of the Teferis, because haste against all the planeswalkers running around was so important.
Mm-hmm. I actually like, I'm closing in. I need 7 cards and 2 of which are mythics. I need the Nicol Bolas Planeswalker and Omnath.
Yeah, and those aren't necessary cards at all.
Mm-hmm.
You
And then
you
like,
could play other 4-drops.
I still
They're
need
just good
1
cards to neoform into.
1 Chromatic Lantern.
You only have 1?
I have 2, and you're using 3, right?
Yeah, I took 1
Yeah.
out because of all the
Yeah.
Risen Reefs.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to
so
see
well.
that. I was like, thank God. Yeah, and then 2 Living Twister, and then the Teferi and a Deafening Clarion.
Yeah, and the Living Twister, I'm not. Honestly, the Shifting Ceratop and the Living Twister break my rule for the deck.
Which
They have
is
double up on mana costs. So those are like those. If I were really being strict, I would cut those. But it was like new cards to play. It was just something else. It was a different flavor to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted the Living Twisters just because I wanted more elementals.
Right. For
And also, like, it gives you reach. Like, I've just had games where it's like
you needed
I'm just,
flyers.
like returning 5 lands to my hand and just like pinging stuff is like so good. It's just a whole nother dimension to the deck
Yeah.
when it gets in like really long grindy games.
Which is what's great about, I don't know. I still love that deck so much.
That deck is so much fun because you're just playing so many 1-ofs. So like games have a different.
Yeah.
You get to like have a different toy a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's like how do the Slivers win? It's like, how does Neo Niv pull it off this time?
And just Niv Mizzet is just so much card draw. And the thing I love about it is both Risen Reef and Niv Mizzet get around Narset.
Yeah.
Like Narset is there hosing all these card draw decks, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
None of my card draw is actual literal card draw. It's just putting stuff in my hand.
Now that I'm looking at it, you know what? I think it's a dumb question, but aside from Neoform, or did you cut out Prime Speaker, or is Prime Speaker in the thing? Sideboard.
I cut.
No, you cut it.
Speaker band
Okay.
for.
Aside from
Because I had too many Simic cards.
yeah, aside from Neoform, or unless there's something else I'm missing, are you just always hard casting shifting Ceratops? Because Niv doesn't, or not hard casting, but like Niv doesn't draw that, right? I guess hard casting. I'm asking two different things, but
It's there for the same reason. I mean, Nicol Bolas and Omnath also don't get, or Muldrotha also don't get.
oh, that's true. Because 3 colors.
Literally, those cards are all there for Neoform.
Value.
I mean, this version of the deck, because my creature, I pulled the CMC of so many things down, so now I'm not always like just sitting there for a 4-drop and then getting Niv Mizzet. I'm neoforming into 4 drops off 3 drops way more often.
Yeah.
So I just wanted more impactful 4 drops to get.
Okay. Yeah, that
And
makes
I lose
sense.
a little equity off how big my Niv Mizzet draws are gonna be on average, but whatever. If I'm resolving Niv Mizzet, I'm in a good spot. I was more worried about getting there and what I'm doing in games where I'm not getting there.
Yeah, for sure. Such a good deck. Maybe I'll
Honestly,
make my.
just love how good your sideboarding can be. Like how impactful, how like much you can change the deck with
Yeah,
cards,
for sure.
and like how much I can change it based on what the meta game is. 'Cause I have everything at my at my fingertips.
Yeah. And that's like the deck that really turned me on to best of 3, just because it does so much. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different things. Well, I think maybe it's been a podcast, perhaps.
Apparently, we've been going for like an hour.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Lost track of time.
it's a magic cast as always. Like there's always
We didn't even talk
more.
about the most hilarious thing with the Mastery Pass, which is that apparently, if you spam clicked your cat, you could lag out your opponent,
Yeah.
and people have been getting banned for doing this.
Yep. Which maybe they should just fix it.
They fucked up.
Yeah.
Like they also had to do a performance patch because the game was lagging.
Yep.
For people, like they just put in too many cosmetics shit, and
I just
didn't
love
optimize it well enough.
I just love how they were like, I don't know how did they not find this out? Like, is it something that can be spam clicked? Then spam click it, perhaps. You know, people are gonna do it.
Yeah.
Give it a timer. It's not that difficult. You'd think.
You'd think. Their ambition got the better of them.
Yeah, they wanted a cat that you could spam the shit out of. Nothing less.
Greed.
Their greed. Hell yeah.
I'm only gonna buy the Mastery Pass if I can get to level 80. When I can
Really?
get the cat with the wings.
Oh, okay. Is that what it takes?
I can get the. Yeah, level 80 is like the best form of the cat.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what does it start out with before that? Is it just normal cat?
Yeah, it's just a little cat. Then it gets an orb.
Oh, I
then it gets
see.
Wings. Like basic cat looks so anemic compared to
Yeah.
full-born cat.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the point of showing off if you're not gonna show off?
Yeah. How?
The other
okay,
big
let's
the other
see
big
here.
thing is literally if you get like 2,000, you can get like 2,000 gems out of the Mastery Pass if you get it all the way. So it's like less than half of what it actually costs if you can actually get there.
Yeah, I was
That's
actually
like the
just.
big thing with it to me is when it becomes worth it. 'Cause
I was.
You're actually getting a lot of gems back.
See, I wish they would just do, and maybe Fortnite has changed this, but one of the things I liked about Fortnite was that with their battle pass, you didn't have a lot of wiggle, like, if you bought it once and you played a shitload and you actually got all the way to the end level, like to level 100 or whatever it is, you would have enough of their currency to purchase the next pass for the next season and maybe get something on in the shop, or like every couple of seasons you could get something in the shop. Like there's just a tiny bit extra. And that felt fucking good. And it's certainly one of those things like, oh, you didn't play for like 2 weeks? Well, you're probably fucked. And that's fine, but like that's how you get people to like keep playing, cuz it's like, oh, well, if I don't play, I'm actually not going to get this thing again and I'll have to buy it. I don't know. It's a nice model.
Yeah, I mean, this mastery system, when they first unveiled it, was not a nice model. They
No.
made it a little nicer, but
Yeah, and even now it's
it
still
was
like,
it was pretty bad. Yeah, it's
yeah.
not.
I just don't understand
It's a
why.
lot better though.
Oh, for sure. I just don't understand why
Like,
like
if you compare like the level you get to in it, playing for free, like playing every 3 days now versus before, it's like double.
yeah.
You get to like level 60 or something instead of level 30.
Oh, yeah, no, it's much better. It's not even like they didn't have to change, they didn't have to overhaul the whole thing. But at least they, like, I don't know, people bitched immediately, but like they listened.
Well, yeah. That's because that's what they had to do. You had to bitch immediately because that's the way they would change it. They're like, what can we get away with? Oh, nope, people bitch too much. All right,
Yeah.
bring that one back. I don't know. I hate it, but that's how things work.
Yeah. Such is life. Sometimes. Unless you're Epic Games, maybe.
I don't know. Epic Games has a roadmap.
Yeah, but like with people like complaining about them buying exclusivity.
The only people I understand that from are people who live in a different country where literally they can't buy the game anymore.
Yeah.
Because Epic isn't available where they live. That is legit.
That's pretty. Isn't. I don't know. Yeah.
And I understood people who were like, but when are they going to do a sale? And then they did a really good sale.
Then they did a sale. Too good. Yeah, man.
That sale got me to pre-order a game just because I'm like, I'm going to want this eventually. And it's $10 off now for some reason.
I forget how does it actually work with like foreign currency?
But the real, I have no idea. The real rubber of it is they might have got me because that game might end up on Xbox. I think it's going to be on Xbox Game Pass anyway.
Wow, which game was it?
After Party.
Never heard of it.
Adventure game by the creators of Oxenfree.
Oh, okay.
It's about drinking your way out of hell.
Nice. That's pretty tight.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
I mean, it sounds good.
And I liked the Telltale stuff the writer worked on before that.
Gotcha. Man.
Like Tales from the Borderlands.
I still need to play that one. That's like the one like Tales game that I was like, I'm gonna do this. I just like so many other games. Just
As
never
someone who
happened.
hates the writing in Borderlands to the point where I can't play those games.
Really?
I love that the writing in that thing is amazing.
Even like the first Borderlands.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I mean, I can absolutely see it, but I'm just used to people having it. Mainly, I think I've talked to more people that have an issue
Also,
like pre-sequel, but
yeah, I mean, also I wasn't really playing games when the first one came out, so that
hmm,
wasn't like an in the moment concern for me.
gotcha.
That was Master wasn't playing. I wasn't playing Xbox games that around that time. I was just doing like whatever Nintendo handheld,
Yeah.
DS or whatever.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of games that I need to play that I need to get to, and yet I picked up Mario Maker.
I mean, Mario
Well,
Maker is like
shit.
the most important game.
Yeah, we'll see.
Your
Maybe
game.
I don't know if it would get me to bring my Switch out and about. I can't bring myself to like play handheld systems
Oh
like
no,
going places. Like in theory,
no.
yeah, it'd be dope on the Metro, but also I don't want to be the guy playing his Switch on the Metro.
I don't know. I played my Vita on the train.
I feel like Vita looks a little better though. Like it's not
Yeah,
as in your
I don't
face.
ever want to. I don't want to bring my Switch out of the house.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to take it anywhere with me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm too scared for whatever reason. Whereas 3DS and Vita, no problem. Honestly, I still miss the days of the Game Boy SP where I could, fit it comfortably into my pocket and play it with one hand.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Pokemon was never as good as when you could play it with one hand. You could just live your life, but also play Pokemon.
I'm trying to imagine like what could you yeah, there's not really a good way to like have it strapped to yourself, but also like maybe if it was on like your opposite shoulder or something. I could see it. Something. I see what I'm tempted to do. I've
Like,
heard
if you could play Pokemon on Switch without Joy-Cons.
yeah. Yeah. Imagine.
Imagine a very greasy screen.
I've heard
Also nicked and banged up.
Oh
Gross.
yeah. I've heard a lot of good reports about playing Arena on your phone using like Steam Link or Steam Remote Play as it is now. Like all you have to do, you just add it to Steam, right? And then you can do it up and people have been like as long as your internet connection in both places is fine, you're golden. Like they said it gets a little weird if you're trying to if there's like a lot of the smaller things in the UI, I think
If you're going
like counters,
Infinite Polyraptors,
something like that, yeah. But for the
I
most
feel like
part,
you'd have
like
to play specific decks.
I think
Like, you wouldn't
I
wanna
think it
be
was
doing
mainly like
stuff
counters that was the problem. Like having to select counters because it's really small on the screen. People got fat fingers.
Yeah. Like anything that made the board state more complicated, I feel like would be potentially. You want a clean, neat board state.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the other big card that actually hasn't quite taken off yet. There's like a new bounce, Flood of Tears.
Flood of what?
It's Flood of Tears. So it's 6 mana. It returns all non-land permanents to the owner's hands. But if you return 4 or more non-token things, you get to put something from your hand into play.
Ooh.
So you can so there's a deck that goes Flood of Tears, Omniscience.
Oh god. I mean that's fucking dope. That's the dream. Oh. Oh, that's saucy.
Yes, so also that deck exists.
Man.
You just ramp it to Flood of Tears, then you Flood of Tears, Omniscience.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Couldn't you just also, like... Doesn't one of the ley lines, like, do that? Like, just ley line of anticipation?
Anticipation gives your
No,
stuff
right? That's
flash.
flash. What am
And
I
that's
thinking?
that's just a whole
Never
good
mind.
reprint because that's a
Yeah.
good card in Commander.
I mean,
that
really,
made that card
all of these reprints are, like,
worth like $10 less.
fucking dope. Man. Oh,
Leyline of the
Brad.
Void is still like the second most expensive card in the set, but it is way cheaper than it was.
I'm looking at the art is 10 out of 10.
On what? Flood of Tears?
All the ley lines. That
all the ley
Noah
lines?
Bradley
Yeah.
consistency. And it's
Yeah.
like a little outside of his usual style. Nice.
They're very thematic feeling this time. With that big X.
Yeah.
The X-Men. villains.
Yeah. Magic the Gathering continues to be good.
It continues to be good. We should try and figure out playing EDH again sometime.
Yeah, I might. All this sliver talk, I'll probably dive back into making that deck what I want.
I have to figure out what other deck I want to build. I want to even just edit one of the ones I have. I don't even know what my other deck would be. All I know is that Bears is definitely the...
Oops, all spells.
Oops, all creatures, though.
Oops, all creatures. I mean, do it. Challenge yourself. It's like poetry. The more restrictions, the better the result.
You're not wrong. I don't know. I want to make a Dakon Blackblade deck or whatever. Because it's stupid. That card shouldn't be Esper.
Which? Oh,
His power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control, but he's in black, blue, white instead of any normal land color.
Right.
The old card before they
Like
understood things.
Yeah, before they had the shit kind of
It's like
solidified.
Well, it's like even his flavor text talks about mountains.
God bless.
I don't know. There's just a weird thing to me now where like I don't want to build decks around new commanders that are overhyped. As cool as like a lot of the new cards are, like if they as soon as one of them's getting overhyped, I'm like I'm blessed
You're
into
out?
the deck.
Yeah.
I'm like kinda out. Like I was so into Muldrotha, but then like that deck was so popular. It was like,
Dying to hype. Classic.
like Yarok is
Absolutely.
the same way.
Hmm.
Because also that deck just won Game Nights, so it's gonna be super overhyped. Although
Yeah.
Bear deck also won an episode of Game Nights.
Yeah, isn't that when the grizzly bear like sold out or whatever?
Yeah, Forest Bear. Just
Or Forest
it's
Bear,
just
yeah.
gone.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a fucking Three Kingdoms card. That card was not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be not even less cheap now, so I'm glad I got it.
Yeah.
It's like this is overspent, but Bears, man, I was in. I got in before the hype destroyed everything, which is really where you want to be with Magic, because that's
That's
when cards get
there-
wrecked. Is like old cards that are tied to new hyped things.
Yeah.
Is like that's
One-
how things get ungettable.
There is one forest bear for sale on TCG Player. It's near mint,
Oh, man.
$40. People are dropping 40 on forest bear.
Worth
What?
though.
What a legendary! On Google, I looked into, or on Google, I just typed it like forest bear MTG. One of the results is a Reddit post that says looking for forest art with bears in it, and it's like if only there was some sort of forest bear that you could use for inspiration. That's classic.
It's so great because that art is
Dude, it's up there.
just
It's
that
like
right level of a.
I'm stupid.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Oh. All right.
Eula though, very cheap.
I
Very cheap.
think that's our episode though.
That's fair.
Some of us are in
I-
different time zones.
I need to look up how much the. Okay, the other expensive bear is also now $47.
Oh, what?
Cheapest. That's
What?
heavily played.
What bear is that?
Near mint, $74.
Fuck
Razor
yeah.
Claw bear.
Razor Claw. Which one is that from?
That one's from Portal Second Age.
Oh. Gross.
That's a 3/3 bear.
Razor Claw bear. It's
Yeah,
a 3/3
That was
bear.
the other one.
Yeah.
That was the other one. I was like, I gotta do it for the bear deck, but this is more than you should have to spend for a bad card.
I wonder if like
But god damn, am I glad I did that before this happened. Holy shit! I don't want to pay $50 for a bad magic card.
I mean now is when you sell it all. How is
Yeah,
this?
I need to own my terrible bears.
How is Razor Claw like hyphenated?
Razor Claw is one word. Razor.
Oh, fucking! I was spelling it with an E.
It's got all that great Portal Second Age formatting. We've got little sword and shield next to the power toughness, and you've got the line
Yeah.
separating the rules text from the flavor text. Style, man.
There is one forest bear on the Russian site that I go to for 3,000 rubles, which is like about the same, I think. It's like it's close to 50. Anyway.
Hold on. The other thing I have to look up. Is
Oh, this guy.
How much is a beta grizzly bear?
Oh, well, that's always been expensive as hell.
No, it's like $9.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
And now how much is I think an alpha grizzly bear? Is like
Probably
30.
that one's probably.
No, it's like 20. I got an
Oh.
alpha grizzly bear. I need to do that.
I mean, yeah,
Get
clearly.
alpha and beta grizzly bears. Those were the bears I was when I was like buying cards. I'm like, okay, but this is total. This I need to kick my spending on magic cards currently down. But this is a one-day move.
I mean, I
The
feel
beta
you.
one is the one I'll play, and then the alpha one that's just for me.
I mean, I fully support this.
Right now, I'm using like the Portal Second Age Grizzly Bear because I like the little line above the flavor text.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, that one's Portal First Age. Never mind.
Oh, gotcha.
Here, I'll send you. Just so you know. Oh, nope. That link was no good.
Hank is typing something. He's still typing. Oh, he stopped.
This podcast could never end.
I'm just gonna, like, die here.
That's
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I like that grizzly bear.
That's a good one. What's the... Hang on, what's the... Don't worry about provoking grizzly bears. They come that way. It's pretty good. Yeah, no, that's solid. That's solid bear art. It's up there.
Yeah. All right, let's end this thing.
Oh.
You can email us, saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at saltcirclepod. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Salt Circle Podcast. Our episodes are currently hosted at anchor.fm/saltcircle. You can find me on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm on Twitter at bean_LP. Man, it's like monologuing until the hero just wants to kill themselves, except you're just talking about bears. No, it's all good. Bears are... I mean, if there was going to be a subject to, like, drag on an episode for, like, at least it's bears.
Yeah, man. I mean, we didn't even talk about vintage, though.
Nope.